Welcome to the Ryder and Lisa podcast.
Unfiltered laughs, honest conversations, and everything in between.
This is your backstage pass to the best moments from Ryder and Lisa.
On demand.
Powered by Always Plumbing and Heating.
One of our favorite people in the world joins us in studio, and she's been practicing her speech, so we're going to let her take it away.
My name is Jordan Grace. I'm 11 years old. I have Down syndrome, and it's school. Please wear colorful socks today. World Down Syndrome Day and celebrate with me.
You've been told. Get those colorful socks on.
And her mom, Maria. Where can people find you on Instagram? You have quite a large following.
321_blessed_mom.
Why is today so special, March 21st to every year?
Today is a holiday in our home, and we celebrate our Jordan Grace, who was a blessing and born with Down syndrome. And we advocate because we want everybody to include her. And she's actually just a little girl just like her peers, and she loves to do everything her peers like to do. So we want to make sure that people all around in schools and everywhere include her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So how can people show their support on World Down Syndrome Day?
Wear colorful socks for her. And then if somebody asks, hey, why are you wearing those colorful socks? Or, it's just a way to talk about Down syndrome and just normalize it and be okay with including others and being comfortable with people with Down syndrome.
Have you heard of Caleb Hammer before?
No.
So he is a financial content creator, and he gives people tough lessons. So they apply to be on his show if they're in a whole bunch of debt, and he'll just break down all of their finances, how much they make, dumb costs that they have, yells at them for ordering food in instead of cooking, shopping when they don't have business shopping. He breaks down what they need to do, and a lot of people in that situation maybe can't afford a financial advisor. So he busted a guy this week for lying about how much his truck costs, though. He had told his wife that it was $700 a month. And then as they're digging through the finances, he's like, what's this $1,700 a month?
That's how much his truck is?
And that's what,
Oof.
he had to tell his wife live on this show that he'd been lying about how much his truck was.
It's an extra grand
They're
a month.
already $150K in debt, these people.
Yeah.
And she just found out he got the top end truck when he lied and said he didn't. That was a rough one. And then last week, there was a guy on who he found this hidden charge of $800 or something. Was like, what's this about? And he said that his friend stole his phone to go on OnlyFans.
Oh, no.
But he was also in a relationship.
$800?
Yeah, I guess. He must have been tipping somebody or however that works. Sending them, do you send them
extra money
or
it's an annual or it's a monthly
is it
fee?
TikTok lives where you can send gifts?
I don't know. If anybody subscribes to OnlyFans, can you tell us how it works?
Anyway, this guy got busted for doing that. So that would be a really uncomfortable place to get caught lying, is on the internet for millions to see live on a show.
We're asking you about times that you caught someone in a lie or vice versa. They caught you in a lie and it was really awkward. We have 2 adult daughters. They're 2 years apart. When they were 10 and 8 years old, my wife discovered a cherry pie that was made for a special dessert with family coming over, but someone had eaten all the cherry filling and just left behind the pastry shell. Both of our daughters denied it. But then our older daughter pointed to the younger sister and said, look, she's doing that thing. She moves her chin weird whenever she tells a lie. So we believed it and she was punished. So flip ahead, 20 years later, we're all sitting around having some adult beverages with our kids and telling stories. Eventually, the story about the cherry pie incident comes up. Everyone's laughing about the chin thing. And our oldest daughter pipes up and says, actually, I did eat the cherry filling. I made up the whole thing about her moving her chin weird. I can't believe you guys believed me all these years.
That is an awful sibling.
Cherry pie gate.
But also pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
When I was a kid, there was a gift underneath the tree. My mom must have gotten it from a friend, and it was a basket with goodies in it. But on the actual basket, there were these candy canes that were decoration. They were crossed and they looked funky. And I ate them. Like I slowly peeled one off at a time and would go to my room and eat them.
I zoned out there for a bit. You were eating
Candy
Christmas
canes.
tree decorations?
No, it was like on a basket under the tree.
Okay, and they were candies.
They were candies. But my mom discovers this basket and she goes, where did the candy canes go that were on this? Which is such a silly thing to lie and say you didn't do.
Especially you'd have great breath.
Well, yeah, they were mint. My mom puts the 3 daughters in a room. She says, fess up. And all of us denied. And it was me. And because of me, we had to sit in this room for hours.
Over Christmas holidays.
Yeah, and then I eventually had to confess. But what a lame thing to lie about. Like, just confess. Who cares?
Right.
It wasn't a big deal.
Your mom would say, don't do it again.
Exactly.
And it would be over.
Did anyone else's mom back in the day, when all the siblings would lie, she'd go, oh, I guess the ghost did it. Was that a classic 90s line or just my mom?
Do you also think that maybe your mom didn't care that much and just really appreciated the silence of all 3 of you being in a room?
I think initially she didn't care at all, but once all of us denied it, she had to make it a thing. But then once we were put away in this room to think about what we did, she probably was like, oh,
she just
this is nice.
Turns Maury on and puts her feet up. Times you were caught in a lie or you caught someone lying.
Okay, this text from Kwan might be one of my favorite stories. I was a big kid with a big appetite. One time my dad was supposed to be making bacon when I was starving. The bacon was sitting in the pan for a while and I thought it was just lightly cooked because I was 6 years old. Turns out it was raw. I ate the entire pan. My dad asked, where did the bacon go? And I said, I have no idea. There was no one else home. We had no pets and I couldn't deny it. When I started puking that night, we had to spend the night in the hospital.
No.
Kwan. Just needed that bacon.
Full pan of uncooked bacon.
It's so cute.
Nasty.
That's so scary too. Imagine being the dad and having to go to the hospital and be like, my kid ate an entire pan of raw bacon. Let us in.
This text says, I was invited to a birthday party at the Lloydminster Pizza Hut. That's where I grew up. There was only one Pizza Hut in town. I didn't want to go because I didn't really like the kid, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings, so I told him I was allergic to pizza. That same night, my parents decided to treat us and take us out to dinner.
No.
Guess where it was?
No.
The only Pizza Hut in town. Oh, that's rough. Imagine walking in and just...
Kids, man.
Would you have to not eat pizza the whole time you were there? I don't know. I'd probably pivot and try to see if they'd go next door to the Boston Pizza instead.
Eileen wrote in, I carved my name and my siblings' names into the back of my mom's minivan with a butter knife when I was a kid. My mom busted me by asking each of us to spell everyone's names, and I spell my brother's name wrong, which is probably how it was spelled.
Scratched in. Oh, rough.
Yikes. Imagine how much trouble you'd get into.
That's a crafty mom.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be more about like busting a cheater or adult friendships or coworkers. A lot of these stories are about kids. Yours is about your kid as well. Go ahead.
Well, my son kept bringing his lunch home from school, and I'm like, why aren't you eating your lunch? And he's like, oh, I don't have time, or I run faster if I don't eat my lunch. Well, I went to the school, had a meeting with the principal. I'm like, he needs to be eating his lunch. He's saying that he's not eating because he's playing soccer. We'll keep him in at recess. And they're like, they have recess before lunch.
Oh, no.
Oh, what?
Which is a total lie. And I was like, what do you mean you run faster? I'm like, you have it before lunch. That makes no sense.
Turns out he just didn't like your cooking.
He makes his own lunch. Thank you very much.
5 simple words, $1,000. It's Ryder and Lisa's 1K wordplay. Brought to you by Out of Bounds Restaurant.
We are joined by Jane, Texter 107, ready to win $1,000 on a Friday or what? Hello?
Great.
There you are.
Oh, yes, I would love that.
All right, Jane, you're going to choose a teammate. They're going to leave the studio. The other host will give you 5 words with a 25-second timer. Tell them the first word that comes to mind. For each word that matches with yours, it's $25. If all 5 match, it's $1,000. So who's your teammate?
I'm going to choose Ryder.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Let's go.
All right, gonna start that 25-second timer after I say the first word. Good luck, Jane. What comes to your mind when I say banana?
Heel.
Slippery.
Wet.
Climb.
Mountain.
French.
Bread.
Tiger.
Cat.
Good answer. Still had lots of time left on the clock, too. Let's get Ryder back in the studio and give away some money. Welcome back, Ryder.
Thank you.
Jane did great. Let's give away some money. What comes to mind when I say climb?
Mountain.
$25, Jane. Nice work. Woo! Slippery.
Slope.
Oh, wet is what Jane said. Good effort. Banana.
I'm going to say yellow.
Peel.
I wanted to say hammock.
What comes to mind when I say French?
Kiss.
Bread.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Can we get to $50? Tiger.
Stripes.
That was tough. Cat. Jane, you're not on the wall of shame. At least you picked up $25. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Next chance to play is Monday morning at 7:50. It's Play 107 with Ryder. Lisa's just trying to get a selfie because it's golden hour, even though I only have one arm and I'm trying to do everything in here. Hey, what's going on, Lisa? Welcome back.
I'm going to take advantage of this beautiful light coming into the studio, okay? You wouldn't understand because you take blurry selfies that look like you took it through a stick of butter, okay? So don't hate on me for loving that it's officially spring.
I can't wait for
It's so
you to-
nice in here.
Can't wait for you to take 15 pictures,
I already did, and none of them are good
put
enough.
filters on all of them, and then realize that you don't like any of them and not post any.
I actually don't know how to do filters
A
anymore.
waste of
There's
time.
a weird update with Instagram, and I don't understand it. So every picture of me is tragic.
Oh, look at this. Feisty Friday, picking right on up.
Yeah. Whose fault is that?
Yours.
I'm just trying to live my life over here and get a good picture.
Hey, smile at this picture for me. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm way too busy doing everything for both of us.
What are you talking about? Selfies are self-promotion, okay? It's promoting our
Your
show.
ego.
No.
Yeah,
Look at this lighting, though.
it is quite nice lighting.
Thank you.
I didn't say anything about you.
Oh.
Just said the lighting was... Just kidding. Okay. On the way in 3 minutes, March Sadness continues. Both Lisa and I contribute a different thing that will make you just a little bit sad.
Yes, we're not. There's a rule with March Sadness. Nothing that's obviously sad, like your grandma dying or illness. Do you know what I mean? We're coming to the table with things that are like little things. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, discontinued items is making it through. It beat out whatever you brought to the table, which wasn't good enough.
Oh, thank you.
One of your favorite items gets discontinued.
Yeah, we get it. You won yesterday's.
What was yours again?
I don't
It was
remember.
So forgetful. That's so weird. Anyway, a brand new episode of March Sadness is coming up next on the show.
In the meantime, you're going to get to listen to this wonderful song from Imagine Dragons, and Lisa's going to take a bunch of pictures she doesn't post. It is time for March Sadness.
Why are you being all excited? We're supposed to be sad.
Yeah, the music gets me fired up.
Oh. Okay, so all you have to do as the listener is text in.
And vote for which one you should get through,
Yeah, which one is more sad in your opinion?
I'll start.
Please.
Getting ready to brush your teeth in the morning or at night. You get a nice blob with the perfect little swirl tip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like an ice cream cone?
Yeah, like in the toothbrush commercials.
In the toothbrush commercials.
Toothpaste commercials, sorry.
Toothbrush commercials. Okay, Daffy. Anyway, you get that little cylinder of paste ready to give you the freshest breasts on the planet.
Freshest breasts.
And then you
That was
look
karma.
down, and as you're bringing up your toothbrush to your mouth, the blob takes a nosedive straight into the sink.
No!
And you hadn't cleaned the sink in a while.
Gross. It's going to dry up and get crusty there.
So you kind of got to wash it off with your finger, but it doesn't really work. And then you got toothpaste in your finger.
Then you got to grab a little bit of toilet paper to get it, but then the toilet paper just sticks to the toothpaste and remains in the sink. It's a whole thing.
And then you got to go back and use more toothpaste and you feel like you're wasting. That's mine.
Mine today is when you get that little tiny rock that hits your window on your vehicle and you think nothing of it. You're like, it'll be fine. Nope. Crack across the entire windshield.
When it goes from a chip to a crack, is that the
Exactly.
moment?
Yep.
You hear that weird noise.
And you go, what does
What
that
is
mean?
that? And all of a sudden, there's just a huge crack in your windshield. Yeah, all right, that's a good one.
Sucks. All right, get your vote on what is moving on to the next round in our March Sadness bracket. Toothpaste that falls off the toothbrushing.
When you're trying to get fresh breasts,
Yeah. Or the crack in your windshield that just
your windshield.
keeps going.
Get your vote on.
We have tickets to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival that we want to give away.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in on this, all you have to do to qualify is tell us a story that you have about a time you were at some sort of music festival. Festival in general.
Festival in general.
What's your festival story? It could be something that happened to you, a friend of yours,
Funny, ridiculous, tragic.
embarrassing.
I feel like the best one for me that makes sense to tell, because it was at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, was finding out my favorite comic at the time, Theo Vaughn, was coming, and looking at buying tickets, rallying some boys together to go to the show. And then I get an email, hey, are you interested in opening for Theo? And I'd done stand-up probably 10 or 15 times at that point, and so very nervous. But I said yes, I wanted to challenge myself, and then made sure I got out lots before the show. And not only did I meet my favorite comic, I got to open for him, and I gave him a joke
That crushed.
he started the show with.
So fun.
And then he looked over at me and he gave me a nod because it really worked. And
Yeah.
his mullet was just slapping against the back of his neck as he nodded at me. And I'll never forget that moment.
That's so special.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
For me, it's the time that I snuck into a music festival. I found out the color of the bracelets that you needed to get in,
Okay.
and they were shiny. So we went to the grocery store and bought the Crispers bag that had that color.
No.
And we just wrapped Crisper lids. Like, you know how you tear it off on the top?
Yeah.
And they were purple that year, so they were the all-dressed Crispers. And we just drove through the gate and held up our wrists. And it worked. I mean, it would never work now. They've upgraded the wristbands and the security. This was a very long time ago. I don't even know if there's all-dressed Crispers that exist anymore.
They'll be scanning you now for sure.
100%.
The other bonus with that is how many of you were there?
There was like 4 of us in the car.
And you all used just the top of the Crispers bag?
Yeah, we all bought a Crispers bag each, ripped it off.
That's what I'm saying. There's the bonus.
You got a snack.
You each got a bag of Crispers.
I love Crispers.
Or after you got through the gate when you got a little bit hungry.
Yeah, we just called someone that was already there. We're like, hey, what color are the wristbands this year?
Whoa.
It worked. Yeah, but that was
Super
a
greasy.
one-time thing.
I like it.
Yeah. So hit us up with your festival story. Everyone that does so is qualified to win a pair of tickets to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival.
Specifically for the Fortune Feimster show. She's headlining that Sunday
For
afternoon.
the Sunday afternoon, that's correct. And you can call with your story or text it in 780-784-7107.
Streaming at play107.com. We're going to get into Throwback Throwdown in a second here. Right now, though, asking you for your wild festival stories. We're giving away tickets to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival.
Danielle said, I went to Stage 13 back in the day, never saw a single performance, just spent the entire time at our campsite drinking.
Those campsites were fun.
That's so fun.
We'd go to one show and then come back.
Just party.
And party again. And then 6 hours later, we'd be like, you want to go watch another show? And we'd go out for half an hour, end up back at the campsite again.
I've always admired people who put in the extra work to make their campsite fun, because my girlfriends and I we would just show up. I don't even know if we brought a tent. Honestly, we would just show up with like a bag of cheese buns and a 2.6 of vodka.
Yeah.
That's it. Amanda, I went to Boonstock one year, ended up in the mosh pit, was having a good time until the security had to pull me out of it. It was raining and muddy, so one of my flip-flops got stuck in the ground as I was lifted out of it. It was 3:30 in the morning. I had to call my husband bawling that I wanted to leave, and I only had one shoe. He had to drive to Gibbons to come and get me, and he worked at 5 a.m.
Boonstock was a wild ride.
Boonstock? Yeah.
Such a good time.
Oof.
Yours also involves sneaking something in. Lisa snuck herself in with the top of a
Crisper's bag. We actually got a text from a listener, Krista, that did the exact same thing. So maybe it was a known hack at one point, and they caught on to us.
What'd you sneak in?
Snuck a bottle of whiskey inside a catheter bag. We got a lot of funny looks when we were drinking out of it.
Ew.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Sorry, that was Katie that wrote in that she also did the Crisper bag.
I remember a guy said that he called the show a long time ago. I actually found the call, but for whatever reason, this is the sound quality of it.
I just want to share a story about sneaking booze into a fest.
So I can't air it. This was like 10 years ago we got this call.
It's such a good story, though.
I'll just tell it.
Okay.
Because I think...
Let's hear it.
It's too distracting, that background noise, hey?
I don't know.
The whole theory, what you want to bring in.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound good.
So he went to the festival site like a week before the festival came.
Before the crew came to set everything up and close it off to the public.
Dug a hole by a tree that he knew he'd remember. Buried a 60 banger of vodka and then reburied it. And I think he might have even just had like a pump sticking out of it so that you could just come and like pump and it would give you
a drink,
an ounce or two of booze.
It's hilarious.
Plus, because they buried it so low, it would have stayed nice and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would have been chilled. What a brilliant move.
Yeah, our friend Matt will go to festivals with juice boxes, but he'll super glue, like he'll open them and then he'll pour vodka in to them and then super glue them shut again. So he can walk in with juice boxes.
Not only is Great Outdoors Comedy Festival probably not real pleased that this is how we decided to give away their tickets.
They have a bar. You can purchase booze there.
Booze. Yeah, do that instead.
Yes, absolutely.
This is when we were young and dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
But also now our friend Matt is probably really upset that you just outed him for his secret.
Oh, please. Everyone has 7 Matts in their circle.
We've often spoke of the ick around here, things that give you the ick. There's a scientific study that has dug a little deeper into it, though. They've labeled it, what exactly it means, and they've figured out common trends on what gives ladies the ick more often and what gives men the ick as well. You ready for some of these stats?
Yes.
Women often get the ick if they see a man displaying feminine behaviors or embarrassing themselves.
Okay.
Whereas men seem averse to women who try to be overly trendy or use irritating speech patterns. Perfectionists tend to get the ick more easily.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
26% of study participants said they've ended a relationship immediately when getting the ick, and 42% call it quits a little bit later because of it. Some interesting stats there.
I'd say. I think icks come from the person that's being icky being unaware of their ickiness.
Yeah, you can also see when somebody is icked out, though. Like every time I put a blanket on, you give me a look.
Because you call it your blankie.
Okay, I don't call it my blankie. We just got this text that said, I just dumped a guy last week because he referred to himself as an alpha male.
No.
Mega ick.
Okay, tell us your latest ick.
Bad breath. Text we got.
Mm-hmm.
And when they text he or tee instead of haha. Great one. We're talking about icks as there's a big study that's been done. 26% of study participants said they've ended a relationship because of one. That's one of the things they found out. So we're just talking icks. What do you got for us?
Immediate ick I got last night when I was watching TV, catching up on my reality shows. Summer House, are you guys familiar?
I am very familiar of it. I need to catch up on it, but let us know what happened.
Okay, so Paige and Craig we're at this Australian restaurant and the camera zoomed out, and the way Craig was sitting on this chair at the restaurant, I was like, what are you doing?
What? How is he sitting?
Ugly. He's sitting with his leg folded under, like his ankle folded underneath his other thigh. You know what
I can
mean?
picture it. Yeah.
Like, I get it, working in the office, whatever, but like you're at a nice restaurant.
Ew.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's just about it for us for the weekend. You got big plans?
Yeah, I'm recording my first ever podcast episode with a group of girlfriends, so not really sure how that's going to go, but we'll see.
You got a name for it yet?
No, not yet.
I got a few options for you.
Oh, yeah?
09 Bar Stars. Or Karaoke Killers.
We don't kill the vibe. We make it more fun.
Or how about, just clucking around?
I don't get it.
Here's some audio from
It's a little teaser.
the first episode. Oh, good point.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Ryder and Lisa podcast.
Thanks for being a part of the Ryder and Lisa community. If you liked hanging out with us, don't forget to subscribe and share the laughs with your friends.
Powered by Always Plumbing and Heating.